Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's me, CMZ News, and I'm here to give another recap of Season 10, Episode 2 of Vanderpump Rules. And I'm really excited. Episode premiered Tuesday. It's been a couple days, but I'm getting to it. And you know what? Before we get into this recap of this episode that I think is kind of moving the storyline along, I want you to go ahead and please subscribe if you're not subscribed. And of course, like this video, leave a comment. Also, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss anything that I upload. If I share any little nuggets, there actually has been some Vanderpump drama, literally even today. Hold on, babe. You're shaking my table. My daughter's sitting to the left of me. Please go color over there. Thank you. I told you guys, y'all, I'm a regular mom, so yeah. Right up under me. If you're a mom out there, you know how that is. So with that said, today we even had some drama on Instagram on a Sunday. Usually these Bravo celebrities are honestly quiet over the weekend, but there was some drama with Raquel posting a picture with her and Tom, and Katie clapped back in the comments. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to any of the Bravo pages that follow the Vanderpump kids and you'll see what I'm talking about, or even go to Raquel's page and you'll see Katie left a comment, Sheena left a comment. They were kind of going back and forth, but it is revving up to the big drama, which we know is that that Raquel and Tom allegedly hooked up. Okay, but let's get into this tea. Let's get into this episode because I am discussing the bar show. I am going to have a little drink. It is President's Day weekend. Daughter does not have school tomorrow. Husband does not have work. Now, I do have work, but I have the pleasure of working from home, so I don't have to worry about waking up super early. I'm not doing any school drop-off, so mom can have a little drink, okay? As if I'm at Schwartz and Sandy's, which I am not. But Tom and Tom are at the beginning of this episode, and we are back with them, and they are meeting with some design people again. They are meeting with Greg, I believe his name is, who is their business partner, and they are interviewing for the upcoming Daily Mail party. Now they're talking about how, they don't have staff yet for Schwartz and Sandy, the actual restaurant when they open the bar, but they are interviewing people to be waiters, cocktail hostess, and such for this Daily Mail party. Schwartz likes everyone. So does Tom for the most part. Greg, they're hiring their business partner, does not really like everybody. It's kind of like Greg is their Lisa, the male version of Lisa, who thinks everything they say is stupid and just rolling his eyes. But he knows that these two kids, they're not kids, but that's how he probably views them. Tom and Tom are bringing the crowd because they have this huge presence of social media that even 10, 15 years ago, these restaurants just did not have. So we move over to Peter and Raquel actually getting back together for their lunch. Remember, Peter wanted to get back with Raquel and have those nachos that he didn't get to have with her. And they are getting together for lunch. It's super awkward. I don't know. They're just pushing this relationship on us. And, Raquel even acknowledges this in her talking head that the previous week she met with Allie and she realized that, she's not over James really. She's not over the relationship, and that's okay. You don't have to move on as fast as James did, Raquel. It's fine if he's moved on and you want to dabble in the dating field, but you don't have to rush into another relationship. Why do people need to rush into something else? There's nothing wrong with being by yourself, right? She doesn't even know who she is, and she says that multiple times in the scene. So she's talking with Peter, and she's like, I'm not over James, but I'm not 100% feeling Peter. I'm not gonna lie, I think Peter's hot. Peter's hot, but you know what? Peter is played. He's been around the block. He's literally gonna be that 60-year-old bartender guy who's hitting on the ladies, and you're wow, he probably was a looker back in his day. You know what? He was, but Peter runs the girls like James said, and Raquel doesn't want to be one of them. And so they're having lunch, and she starts actually crying because she's talking about how remember now, Raquel is a pageant girl. She has done pageants her whole life. It helped her with a lot of her insecurities growing up. And she shared that she was in the Miss California USA pageant, and she placed top 15, but she cannot compete anymore because now she's 27, and it's like a rule, I guess, that Trump used to be over like a lot of these pageants and stuff, former President Trump. So she's, she can't do it anymore. She gets depressed. She starts crying. I honestly thought it was a really vulnerable scene. I mean, imagine, I didn't play sports or anything, but imagine just something that you were really good at and you just know like, hey, this is the end of the road for me. You don't make it to the league. You don't go any further. You don't go on to crown. There's no more crowns. You've been doing this your whole life and it's done. And I can imagine that being kind of sad. So she's just kind of crying. She's like, James paid for everything. Listen, James is a freaking jerk. So I'm glad that he paid for everything. But you know what? She acknowledges that now she has to pay for her stuff herself. And that's good. We love an independent queen, Raquel. Okay. Next scene, we have Lala and Katie. They're getting tans. Lala's telling Katie about this date with the boy that she met last week. And it's going to be a group setting and she wants Katie to come. Katie also admits that, her and Schwartz are still dealing with, not co-parenting, but they're still dealing with issues. Like with him in this bar, Katie is still kind of picking up the slack. They've got their dogs that they share. And he'll be like, oh, can you keep the dogs an extra day because I've got the bar? And Katie's just like, I'm so over the shit with this bar. This is the way she's making it though. And Lala tells her like, you don't owe him anything. You don't have to continue to have it be this way. But Katie is, she's used to being Schwartz's mom and like being in this role. I'm going to adjust this light a little bit. Sorry, it is nighttime. I'm filming this. Let me try this something. Okay, let's see if that's even better. We're trying, guys. Okay. So a little closer to me. All right. I think that's a little better. So Lala admits that she tells her, hey, I talked to Schwartz last week and, at the party at James Kennedy's thing, and they had a really good time at that hotel. Katie's like, yeah, how did that conversation go? She's like, you know what? I think Schwartz and I lost that fondness that we had for each other. It's over. She's like, however, I'm not in a place where I can even worry about being sympathetic to someone right now because I am just holding on and making sure that I do not drink right now. She's basically just saying what she's going through is just so much greater than anything else. She doesn't have time to be kind. She doesn't have time to be sympathetic. She doesn't have time to see things from a different perspective. She doesn't care to, she doesn't care. She doesn't care. It's her way or the highway right now because of what she's going through in this custody battle with Randall that she's got herself into. Do I understand that? Yes. Do I also feel like in a way that Lala's the type of person who thinks whatever she's going through is more important than anything else anyone else is going through? Yes. I think she thinks that, she's a mom, so she can't possibly worry about any juvenile issues because she's got a child. She's got a business, so she can't possibly worry about why you're upset about your little mundane problem. She's got this custody battle, so she can't possibly relate to you and your stupid issues with your friends. She's got, this whatever else, insert whatever else. She can't everything she has going through is more important and more serious and more is more of a tragedy than whatever you're going through. That's annoying. I mean, honestly, straight up, it might be true in her mind, but that's very narcissistic. And it's also just like, you're not the first mother. You're not the first person to go through something. You're not the first person to be played. You're not the first, girl to think she's a sugar baby and get played by a dude, because that's exactly what happened to you, baby. So it's very annoying. And I don't know how long her friends are going to deal with that. I don't know why they continue to kiss her ass. I don't know why they're afraid of her to kind of go there with her a little bit, but whatever. However, I get that she's holding on to a thread with her sobriety. I've not been in that realm, so I just can only say, I hope she holds on to it, because I would hate for her to lose it. Because if you're gonna probably go down that dark path, this situation she's in, which is serious, I'm not saying it's not, I think it would send you there. So that's good. She's back in her AA meetings and she's leaning on her sponsors and everybody. So Tom and Ariana, they go furniture shopping, they miss each other, whatever, it's boring. Okay, back to Lisa and Lala, back to Lala rather. So Lala shows up to Villa Rosa And she comes to meet with Lisa, and they're gonna go have tea. And they kind of have a little quip about like her like sitting on James's face and cheating with James. Like she's spilling the tea about how she hooked up with James a couple times, and Lisa's laughing about it or whatever. And then Lala explains, you know, hey, like I'm going into this like custody battle. And Lisa's like, yeah, you know, the stuff in the LA Times article was really disturbing. Lala's like, I'm hearing more and more disturbing things every single day. And Lisa's like, you know, let's be honest. Let's be honest, darling. Let's be honest. Did you not hear anything in the beginning? You know, did you not hear anything? Instantly, Lala's getting defensive. She's like, Lisa, don't you think in these 9 months I haven't been spiraling? Don't you think I haven't been thinking about everything? She literally, when you confront this girl, I want you guys to pay attention. When you confront her with some truth, she spirals. She hits you with yelling, talking over you, cutting you off. She was trying to cut Lisa off this whole conversation and crying, and then she'll storm off, and then you feel like an asshole because you're like, well, I just brought this girl to tears and I can't push it any further. But Lisa's like, darling, no, I'm talking about in the beginning, in the very beginning, when you first go with him. Your mother didn't tell you? No one was like, where are his children? If he's divorced, where's the papers? Where's it, where, you know? And Lala's explaining to her, like, look, I would see him FaceTiming with his kids. He told me he wasn't married. People were telling me things. She claims, and this is what I think is funny. She goes, you know, I was 25. I was head over heels. This guy was telling me and giving me all this and head over heels with me. Okay, remember, this guy is giving her, she hit it, let him hit it the first night. The very next day, he gave her a Range Rover, okay? He gave her some Gucci slides that he took away a couple days later. He is spoiling her with gifts, and he's a movie producer. He's gonna put her in movies. She knows that he's really done movies. He is friends with Mark Wahlberg. All these things he's throwing at her, okay? So La is seeing her career advance. She's seeing ka-ching. She's like, wow, I'm on this show, Vanderpump Rules, but you know what? I've got this legit Hollywood producer who is big time and does these geezer teaser films with, actually, I feel so terrible that I just said that because I respect all these actors that have actually been in his movies. Sylvester Stallone, and of course, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Bruce Willis. And we know we just got some really terrible news about Bruce Willis and his advanced dementia. So no disrespect, straight up. But that's what they call the movies that he's done. So, you know, she knows that she's got this guy, right? And so she's like, you know, she's flying her friends on jets. You know, they're going to Coachella. Remember, she had Tom and Ariana sign the NDA. No, Tom Sandoval and them tried to warn her. She didn't want to hear it. You know, he's a stand-up guy. Her man's a stand-up man. She wants to put down Brock. We're not going to go there with Brock yet. We're going to talk about Brock, but we're going to, you know, all these things, right? And she's like, you know, I know what everybody else thought about me, Lisa, but I didn't know that you thought it too. Girl, please. Okay. She then says that they go all the way to Arizona for whatever reason to talk to a therapist. The therapist claims that she had treated him and that his ex was a codependent, and telling her, no, Lala, this relationship is over. He's really done with this marriage. It's over. Don't listen to everybody. The marriage is over. Remember, even Katie, who's like her best BFF right now, Katie told her back in the day, like 2000 whatever, when they were first on the show and Katie was calling her a whore and all these names, Katie told her, like, my friend is friends with his wife and he's still married. People freaking told her. Like, that's just all there was to it. People told her. She chose to believe him. Listen, Lala's not the first girl to believe something a guy says, you guys. I have believed things I've been told. Like, sometimes as women, you want to believe what you want to believe. I won't even say women. As a person in love, you want to just believe what you want to believe. Was she in love? Was she in lust? Was she seeing the dollar signs? Was she seeing the PJs, the BJs, all of that stuff, the yachts, the flights, all that stuff? She wanted to believe it, okay? It made enough sense for her to move forward. I want to say that Lisa brought up her mother. She's like, your mother didn't see it? Because you want to say you're 25. Well, your mother's at least 25 years older than you. Okay, your mother's 50-something years old. Your 50-something-year-old mother, who's like the same age as this dude, she doesn't see anything? This ugly, sorry, that's not nice. This gentleman who Lala was very beautiful. Lala is very beautiful, especially then, was very beautiful. Your young daughter in Hollywood, this guy wants to date your daughter. This guy, more than half her age, wants, or whatever it's called, double her age, there you go, wants to date her. Where is anybody's common sense? Well, you know where their common sense was? In that LA Time article that Lala gave permission and was in, she explains how season 5, she wanted to introduce Randall, and Randall didn't want her talking about her. So he offered her $14,000, which is a really odd number. I don't know why they came out with $14,000. He offered her $14,000 to like basically keep his name out of her mouth. And her and her mom got out of that meeting and left. So you're dealing with a dude who likes to give money and pay off problems, but you still continued the relationship. You met with his lawyers. You sat down. You negotiated a price. Like, come on. So anyway, she claims that this therapist convinced her from Arizona. I don't know why they have to fly all the way to Arizona to talk to this person, but they flew to Arizona to talk to this person. This person convinced her that, she said, I was sobbing. I also want to bring up that like Lala used to had texted Amber, which is Randall's ex-wife, was like, you don't know how to keep your man and all this stuff. And like Amber posted it on her Instagram. Okay. Well, now Amber and Lala are in cahoots and they're friends. And Amber told her, guess what? That was our couples therapist that you spoke with. And so maybe Randall's snake ass paid the therapist. So maybe Lala's story is true. She was manipulated. I don't know. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I think my honest to God opinion is that he is a terrible person, that he did pull some manipulation tactics, but I don't think she's as dumb and naive as she claims that she is. And I think she went along with a lot of stuff because she wanted the bag. And I think it became abundantly clear that he ain't had all that money. And then that's when it was like so much more easier for her to leave. And she didn't think he would cheat on her because she didn't think he was attractive enough that anybody else would cheat. But it's like, girl, look at the women he was pulling. His ex-wife is beautiful. She's beautiful. And she also told Lisa that he now has a new girlfriend. She's very pretty as well. And also Lisa said that Randall, the day Pandora, which is, Lisa's daughter, had a baby, that Randall wanted to come over there and like plead his case to Lisa. And Lisa was like, no, we're good. Hey, stop shaking the table. Lisa was like, we're good. So that whole situation frustrates me. It's so hard because I don't know, like, do I need to check my own misogyny? Like, am I not seeing this right? Like, should I only see her as a victim? I don't know. I just think like you have to take some accountability. Like, you weren't a 19-year-old girl. You were 25. We have seen enough movies. You've had enough friends. You've seen enough. Like, we know enough to know like these people, men, lie about things like this. I don't know. Anyways, back at Raquel's apartment, okay? Raquel's at the studio apartment. It's really cute. Everything's, it's a studio, so she's got her bed. It looks very beautiful. Their kitchen is very spacious, too, for studios. They're sometimes small. She's probably paying every bit of $2,500 and up. Sheena comes over. Her little poor puppy Graham is sick, and you could tell he doesn't feel good because there's, like, food in front of him. He's not eating it. I felt bad. She also admits that she's not sharing custody of the dog with James either. Let's see. They discuss all her dates with Peter and her crying on her dates with Peter. I feel like I skimmed over how awkward that was, but yeah. And her need to basically break up with Peter. She's not interested in Peter like that. We get a quick scene of Allie and James together, and they're eating a sandwich. They discuss Graham. James also says he's not doing the whole dog sharing thing. Also, he also found the whole Peter thing bizarre. Allie has a talking head in which she sounds like Raquel. She's like, when James and I fell in love. She's like doing Raquel's like original baby voice. And what else? Oh, we get Schwartz and Sandy. They're getting ready for the opening. Tom Schwartz does discuss that he thinks the restaurant does play a part in his breakup with Katie. And everyone is just basically getting ready to go to the Daily Mail party now for Schwartz and Sandy's, okay? James is DJing. They show him arriving to the party. We're skipping ahead because there was this, whatever. I'm not going to recap Allie and James. I have no interest really. we have James DJing, and they do like the toilet paper setup from like 2018 when they were like at that party. I think that was that party that James actually got. Was that the one? No, that wasn't the one where Sandoval punched him, but was it? Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, everyone's looking great. They do a little play on the toilet paper setup. This, I think it was like Scott toilet paper. Everyone's arriving. Lisa comes. She tells the boys, Schwartz and Sandy, that she feels proud of them. And Katie arrives, and let's see here. Raquel needs to break up with Peter. Her and Sheena are talking. Sheena's like, look, you need to just do it. Just pull the Band-Aid off, break up with him. And basically she ends up breaking up with him. Lisa also has like a little conversation with him too. And it's kind of, oh my God, am I almost done? Yeah, she has like a little conversation she has a conversation with Lisa. Lisa goes and talks to Peter after Raquel basically tells him like, look, this isn't going anywhere. Like, enough's enough of this like foolishness. And like Peter starts like drowning his sorrows. And Lisa's like, look, you're the manager of one of my restaurants. Like, knock it off, okay? Then Schwartz and Sheena have a quick little talk, and she invites him on her podcast. She's like, I've had everyone on here, but I haven't had him individually. And they discuss his dating life. He claims he's not ready to date because he feels like it'd be cheating. I'm like, Tom, how would that be any different from you cheating your whole marriage with Katie? Because he was not faithful, his whole relationship with Katie at all. He wasn't faithful during their marriage, but now all of a sudden you're gonna like, you don't wanna, now you're getting divorced, you're getting separated, and now you don't wanna fucking date anybody, but okay, whatever. Lisa has a quick conversation with Greg, which is the business manager of Schwartz and Sandy's, and they like discuss like kind of their frustration with the Toms and just like how they're just dreamers and how they just, you know, they want them to get their head out of their ass and understand like this is a business. It's not all about shaking hands and having drinks and having sips with everybody. Let me have my sip. And you know, this is an actual business. You guys got to really get your heads out of your ass. So all the changes they've made, and he's like, my phone totally died. Okay. But I was wrapping up with Lisa and the Gregs talking about the challenges of working with the Toms and just wanting them to really understand the seriousness of this business. With that said, we move into Katie and Tom talking about the seriousness of business and contracts. Katie is complimenting him, you know, about the bar and how beautiful it is. And he kind of is apologizing a bit, like, I know, like, this place took so much of me, but, you know, we got it done. And I just don't know, like, you know, doing his little sheepish, oh, shucks, did I lose my marriage over this place? And Katie's like, you know, was it worth it? And he claims, you know, he didn't choose the bar over her. She's like, Tom, you chose a lot of things over me, Katie says. And, you know, she's like, even when I was on your side, defending you in arguments, you chose other things over me. And he's like, I don't want you to feel like that. Like, I don't want you to feel that way. And she does feel neglected. And she's like, you know, this bar was the other woman, and I'm standing, she goes, and I'm standing inside of her. I was like, Katie, that was funny. Tom also compares himself to Allie and Noah from the Notebook, whatever. Listen, they've got a long ways to go in their, like, relationship. I mean, the relationship's over. They want to do this whole kumbaya best friend thing, and they're just going to learn. You know, Katie shared a couple tears. It's sad. I mean, I won't say wasted. She has had some of the best times of her life probably with this person, but it's just not he's not her forever. She's not his. And I don't know if Schwartz can be loyal to anybody aside from Sandoval, honestly. So we've got some more work to do there and more analyzing. I don't really have a whole lot on that. I think like this is a relationship that has been the same. It's been a consistent theme, even when they got married and everything. It's like, I said it once, I'll say it again. The season they literally got married, he literally had cheated on her. Like, they were at the bachelorette party and she was upset because he had literally slept with someone. It wasn't one of his makeout sessions. Like, so they probably never should have walked down that aisle, you know, and she did. And then, you know, it is what it is though. And, you know, they don't have children together. They wanted kids. It didn't work out. And I hate to say these type of things, but that would have complicated this even more because Katie, he's already a child. So now she'd be co-parenting with a child, you know, like her kid, her kids, you know, with this person who doesn't put anybody ahead of him before himself, you know, or Sandoval. So, good episode overall. We're getting there. Next few episodes, we're gonna get into the Schwartz and Raquel stuff. Sheena is gonna have, I think, is gonna have more of a role. Aubrey, stop shaking my table. We're gonna have more Sheena, and her role that she's playing in the whole Raquel and Schwartz hookup, whether that's like just for TV or real. And we're just gonna see what happens here, and where things go and how these friendships and relationships unravel. So thank you for joining me for another recap, and I just appreciate the views and the follows, and please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Like, am I too hard on Lala, you guys? Like, am I misogynist? Like, my own, like, whatever views on, like, women? Am I blaming her too much? Am I not putting enough, you know, blame on Randall? Like, what do I need to do? Tell me about that. What do we think about everything else? Like, the guys opening the bar, are they unrealistic? Do they need to just knock it off? Like, what do we think about Katie and Tom and they're trying to be friends? Like, what do we think about Raquel? What do we think about little Graham being sick? I hope he feels better. I'm sure he does. And let me know what you guys think about everything else. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.